So I'll just play this video now. It's only a minute long, so I hope you can enjoy it. So there you go. So welcome everybody to this webinar. This is all to do with the Bali project. So I'm Brian Avery. I'm the founder for SwimTayka. So we just go around introductions with regards to who's here from SwimTayka. Then I'll tell you a bit more about SwimTayka as well. So Ash, would you like to go first?
Yep. Hi, I'm Ash. I'm the fundraising manager for SwimTayka. And I also handle kind of a lot of the incoming questions and stuff about our programs. So that's me. And then next we have Amy.
Hi everyone, sorry I'm a couple of minutes late, I was having trouble logging on. I am the ambassador for the Bali programme. I volunteered with them 2 years ago, so I basically did what you're doing this year. Absolutely fell in love with the project, fell in love with the community there, and then since then I've just become an ambassador to try and help get more volunteers out there and to support the volunteers when you're going. So that's me, Amy.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Amy. So to give you an idea regards what we'll be talking about today, we have a program itinerary, which Amy will be going through, what to expect when you arrive there, what a typical day looks like, because she's had the experience out there. And she's the main point of contact with regards to understanding what happens in Bali, what goes on there, what a volunteer role looks like. So I'll explain with regards to what that involves. That's talking about yourself and the whole role involved around that. Packing, what to take with you, what you need to take with you. So that'd be both myself and Amy. So I've traveled extensively around the world. It's best not to pack too much, but we'll go into more into details about that later. Things you might not think about, things that'll be helpful, especially when going to Bali. So Amy can fill you in more on those details. Health and safety guidelines and factors. So I'll talk about those regards to what to watch out for, what to do, where to look for. More importantly, where to get the correct information from, or most up-to-date information. Travel logistics, so we'll generally talk about that in regards to what's required in that, because you'll have your own itineraries in regards to what you want to do and how you want to do things. Sorry, Ash, I meant to ask, are you recording this?
Yes.
You are, good. I could just let everybody know we are recording it, so be careful with what you say. We'll also then talk about the Bali culture. So I'll talk briefly about that. Then also Amy will talk about with regards to things that you need to watch out for, and especially cultural wise. Amy will go into that a bit more. Resources available when you're in Bali. So we'll talk about with regards to how you can get help, how you can get support, both locally and internationally from us as well. Then we'll have a Q&A session. Then Ash will then finish off and give you an update, and also talk about the next webinar in regards to what that's going to be about, and try and get more people involved in doing it. Talk about SwimTayka. So the video you saw is the main purpose of what SwimTayka is about. We're here to basically reduce down drowning. One easy way of doing that is by having swimming teachers go out to our programs to be able to help our programs. So SwimTayka has been running now for almost 7 years, and it was really formed from me as a founder, that I went out to programs and helping children to swim in different areas around the world, realizing the fact that there are a lot of communities, a lot of low resource environments where children are, but they're not getting taught to swim, even though they love the water, but they don't know how to swim. So we basically formed SwimTayka to be able to get people like yourself to be able to go to these programs and help them build up confidence, build up the ability to be able to have swimming lessons for local children. When we engage in a program, we engage for 5 years, and that gives enough time for the local people to be able to take ownership of the program, to be able to run the program, to be able to get swimming teachers in place, local people, to be able to teach local teachers and the such like. And Amy will go into more about that in detail a little bit later, regards to what we're doing actually in Bali itself. We do have other programs around the world. We have programs, and we've had programs in Brazil, going around all the way, Peru, Brazil, Jamaica, Indonesia, Uganda, and many other locations around the world over the time. And we taught lots and lots of children to be able to do it. So what I'll do is just hand you over to Ash, and she can just talk about with regards to any logistics and such like. So over to you, Ash.
Yeah, so the process for signing up, most of you are already quite familiar with it because you've already been going through it. So we have a booking form where you can select the time period that you want to go, and choosing that comes with a small deposit of £45. That way we can ensure that your space is reserved in the time that you want. And then we send you a volunteer application, which is pretty broad, very general. It's more for us to get kind of like your contact information and what your interests are in the program. And then after that, we send you the program application, which has more details about the program itself and your responsibilities and a bit more about what you can expect. We also ask that our volunteers set up a Just Giving page, which is spoken about in our program agreement. I think several of you have already done so, which is great. We ask for people to fundraise a minimum of £1,500. This helps both cover the costs of you going to the program and them taking care of you, as well as helping us fund further programs and support them so that we can reach more children. Is there anything else I'm missing, Brian?
Just to back up everything Ash is saying, also everything I'm going to say and Amy's saying, I believe Ash sent out an email today with the volunteer information pack, with regards to the program. That has a lot of extensive details in there. It tells you everything that's happening and everything that's going on. So if you don't pick anything up during this webinar, by all means have a look through the documentation. If you have any questions, then fire them away to either Ash or myself or Amy. Just to find out more information. We'll try and answer them as best as possible. So
yeah.
So Amy, would you like to go ahead, please? You're on mute at the moment. You're still on mute. You need to turn off the mute button.
Sorry, I'm just waffling on. Going into the itinerary. So when you arrive, there will be a driver that picks you up from the airport. They'll give you a basic tour around, so from the airport to Karamas, which is where you'll be staying. It's in the region of Guyana. And during that, a geese, it's likely that it's a geese that will be collecting you, along with any other volunteers who are arriving on the same day as you. They'll show you around the area, they'll show you where the local shops are, they'll show you the swim do house, the beach, access to the areas. Basically just go around the local area, answer any questions that you might have about that on your first trip. They will take you to the shop as well, just to get any basic supplies, anything that you want for breakfast, that sort of thing. They do provide you breakfast when you're there, so they'll help you out with all that. And then on the second day, it's likely that they will take you to on a trip to the Holy Water Temple. So they'll show you the Holy Water Temple, they'll go through the ancient rituals there, they'll show you how to go through the rituals properly. If you want to take part, you can, you don't have to. For that one, you do need to wear a sarong, but if you haven't got one with you, they will provide you with one. They do request a small donation for that. And then they will likely take you to the Luwak coffee plantation, which is nearby as well. And they'll show you. I don't know if you know anything about the Luwak coffee, but yeah, they'll take you there. It's really interesting. It's absolutely stunning as well. So that's what you'll do on your first 2 days. So you'll get to know the local area. They'll show you where everything is, and they'll take you on a nice day out on the second day. That's if you're arriving on the Saturday, which I think is are most people arriving on a Saturday? Yeah, that's the plan. So then on the Monday, you'll be settled in, you'll know the area, and then you'll be able to help out volunteering during the week. So Monday to Friday, you will be volunteering with them. It used to be that you volunteered with the pool, the swimming lessons in the afternoon. So they're usually 2 till 4 p.m. or 5 till 7 p.m. It's around those times anyway. They're very, like Bali time is very, very flexible on time. So anything between 4 and 7, if you can get there for then, you will have some swimming lessons going on then. So you'll be there to assist the teachers. But they had some feedback from the last couple of years that the volunteers wanted to help out more. So during the day, some people were going on tours and just going to see different areas and things. There's lots and lots and lots of things to do. But for some of the days, they actually wanted to volunteer more. So Indira, who runs the programme out there, her uncle runs a daycare centre. So now what you can do during the day is actually volunteer at the daycare centre and helping them to teach English to the children there, which I think is brilliant. I think it'll be really interesting experience. So that's something else that you can do to help the local volunteers out there as well. If you are looking for things to do in the area, there are local waterfalls that are absolutely stunning. There is the art markets, there's a street market, there's Keramas Beach, which you can walk to, and there's the Ubud Centre, there is Monkey Forest, and there's Champuan Ridge Walk. There's lots and lots and lots of nice walks and temples to visit as well. That's just what I came up with in about 10 minutes of what I could remember that we did. So there's loads of things to do around there. I think 2 to 3 times a week you can. A geese will take you further afield. So if there are places that you want to go to, the best thing to do is sit down with the volunteers that are there at the same time as you. Make a list of all the places that you would like to go to and like to visit, and then a geese will kind of plan the best days that you can go on, either whether it's you going with the other volunteers or he can take you there on the way to take another volunteer somewhere else. But he will try and get you to all the places that you want to visit as much as possible during that week, and they'll work it out with the timings with the lessons as well.
So, Amy, could we talk about with regards to like what a typical day would be, and with regards to what people were doing volunteering on the swimming program, what the children are like, the staff that are there? I think the most important thing that everybody has to remember is you're a guest there. You're not there necessarily to run the program. They run the program. You're there to assist them and help them to be able to do things. So could you explain a bit more about that, Amy?
Yeah, so when you're at the lessons, there's lots of volunteers. They're all at school and college during the day. So they come straight from school to come and teach the swimming lessons. They have a really good setup there. So their lesson plans are actually really good out there. They have a really good warm-up structure. The children are all very well behaved. So they do a dry warm-up for about 15-20 minutes on land. You'll get to play some games with them. You get to do activities with them. And then they'll go and get to the pool and they'll work on their water safety skills. So they set the lessons up. They'll have beginners, intermediates, and advanced. The beginners children are very, very terrified of water. So usually the volunteers that go out there are there to assist and support those children that are very nervous. So I would strongly recommend to learn some of the words that you would regularly use in your swimming lessons to help them. So things like Santi Santi is to relax. Santi can mean a few different things, so you have to say it in a certain tone and you have to say it Santi Santi, and that's when it means relax. So it's getting used to the local lingo, but the local volunteers will help you with all that. So if you tell them what it is that you want to say, they will tell you the best way to say it to the children so that they understand. And then if you want to, you can work with some of the more advanced swimmers, so they all start to learn the actual strokes. Obviously, SwimDo have been there for quite a while now, so they have got quite a rigorous program. It started to enable them to teach advanced skills to the swimmers. And yeah, you'll volunteer with those for about 3-4 hours, and then you'll usually have an evening meal with the local volunteers again, and they will talk to you more about the program and about what they want to achieve and what they would like to do and how you can support them more. Does anyone have any questions on that? I'm not sure if I've covered everything then, but no.
So throughout the webinars, you'll find more and more information. If you do come up with any questions, then either ask them directly to Ash, Amy, or myself, or wait to the webinar. Then we can let everybody know with regards to what question you're asking. What we'll go into next is what the volunteer role looks like. So the important thing when you go out to a program, you are representing SwimTayka, and you are working with SwimDo. So SwimDo are our partner in program. And what they basically asked us to do as an organisation is to be able to reach out to people like you, to be able to go to the program, to be able to assist them, and be able to educate them and help them progress forwards with regards to what's happening and what's going on. What Amy's doing at the moment is starting to put a program together, the unregulated course, the STA unregulated course program, mainly being because in Indonesia, they're not regulated in any way with regards to doing swimming teaching. So this way it will give them some structure with regards to what to do and different areas they might not have been in before, and give them more education and give them a path for them to be able to follow. So we do have like a long-term plan with regards to what we're doing. And if you come up with any ideas there, speak to Amy, speak to Indira, and speak to them about it and see with regards to how that can fit in with regards to what you're doing and how you're doing things. That's it with regards to the role of the volunteer, with regards to you there. You, like Amy says, there are a lot of other things to do while you're there, about going about. Yes, give as much time you can to volunteering, and ask the questions, because you're there to help them. The more you can get out of it is by asking them. Don't expect them to say to you, oh, can you do this? Can you do that? Ask them, can you help them? That's what it's about. It's about engaging with them. Regards to, they don't know that you might find that they're a very different culture to what we are in regards to how we do things, and we'll go into more into the culture, things you might not know about, and they will be able to instill in you in regards to what right things to do and wrong things to do and what not to do as well. So that's it on that side with regards to the role. Now packing, with regards to when you go there, how to describe it. I would say go as light as possible. Bear in mind it is a hot country, and just be prepared. It's worth going on to the Foreign Office website, and that's where the source of truth is. So if you ever hear of anything happening in Indonesia or you want to hear about the latest information, go on the Foreign Office website, look up Indonesia, and it will tell you with regards to what the situation with regards to security is there, whether it's red, amber, or green. If it's red, we won't let volunteers go there, because that means it's dangerous, which means the government recommends that anybody going to that country, if they go there, they'll have no support from the government. So that's the important thing. We haven't had that on any of our programs as such yet, but COVID, I suppose, really honed that into us with regards to what was happening and what was going on. So if you hear of anything, look on the Foreign Office website. They'll tell you the facts, not necessarily what you read in the papers or what happens in the papers. They'll also give advice with regards to what inoculations you need, if any, and they'll describe what they are, but then you need to go to your own doctor or your own travel advice centre to actually get what's required for that. Visa-wise, I think Amy will say this as well. Is what you get? Do you get a visa on arrival? I believe in Indonesia. I know it changes, so it can change.
Yeah, that covers you for 30 days.
So just get a visitor visa on arrival for you to be able to do that. and that will cover you for all the period of time when you're there. If you want, another thing is also if you want to stay on longer than the 2 weeks you're going there, let us know. Let's Swim do know, so they know regardless you're going to be staying on longer, or when your flight starts. So hopefully Ash will get all your flight details anyway, but just make sure everybody's aware of that. We'll support you and look after you while you're on the program. Once you're off the program, then you're up to yourself regardless what you're doing and how you're doing things. Taking out travel insurance, that's a given anyway, regardless what's happening, what's going on. Flights are important. I would strongly recommend booking flights as soon as possible. The closer you get to the time, the more expensive they become, and they get higher and higher all the time. To book them as soon as you can. But we do have like a travel agent that can help with your flights as well. And after this call, we'll send you all a follow up with regards to contacts and details, and make sure you have everything. What else is there that you need to know about? On the flights, we always try and recommend that you book flights with reputable airlines. You can get it very, very cheap if you do about 4 stops by different little airlines, but you're more likely not to get there. Whereas you book with like BA, Emirates, and all the reputable airlines, they will make sure they get you there in a reasonable time as well, and they'll give you the support that you need for it. So, are there any things, Amy, anything from your side in regards to things you find that would be useful and helpful for them to take with them, especially in Indonesia? Oh, she's on twice.
Sorry, I'm just having to try and switch over headsets, and they're not headsets, and nothing's working for me, and my daughter needs my laptop.
Okay.
Right, can everybody hear me okay? Will you just give me a thumbs up? Right. I can hear myself. I'll have to try and ignore my own voice. It's repeating back to me. So one thing I really wish I'd taken is antibacterial wipes. Biodegradable ones, make sure they are, or just some, I took antibac hand gel, but I just thought the wipes were a little bit better to take with me, just for various places you go. Some places are really upmarket, some places are completely different. Sanitary products are hard to get hold of in Bali, especially tampons. So if you do want to take those, if you do use those, make sure you take them with you, because they are almost impossible to find. And if you can find them, they are very, very expensive. Insect repellent, I think that goes without saying, but even insect repellent, you still get bit. You're going to get bit. Your legs are going to be full of bites. So just long tights or socks or leggings or something that might help. Definitely a good one. One point when Brian said pack lightly, there is a very, very cheap laundrette down the road, and they do an amazing job. Your clothes smell amazing for days afterwards. So I would say just pack a really small amount of clothing and use their laundrette. So it helps their local business out. It also makes it a lot easier for yourself. I will be taking a third of what I took last time. Make sure you have a hat for the swimming pool. It can get quite hot. Some of the areas are shaded, but some of it is in the sun. So just make sure that you have a hat on when you're teaching outside. Take a snorkel. There's loads and loads of snorkel areas. If you're happy to snorkel, then definitely take it with you, because some places will catch you off guard. They are the most beautiful snorkeling places in the world. Anti-sickness medication. Take something like that with you, because you probably will get Bali belly at some point if you're not used to that sort of culture. And earplugs, because at night it is noisy. Just things like crickets are very, very noisy. I know in the accommodation where we were, in fact, anywhere where we ended up staying, it was quite noisy at night. So they're my top tips that I can think of now. If I think of anything else, I'll let you know.
Thank you, Amy. The other thing to do is always drink bottled water. Never drink from the tap. The other top tip is when you're brushing your teeth, use bottled water. Don't use water out the tap, because it's
just a quick one on that. Sorry, yeah. At the SwimTayka house, they will provide. They have a big water tank that they fill up with fresh, clean drinking water. So at the house, there will be plenty of water for you. It's just if you're going out and about.
With regards to food, I think this is on here. I'm just going to just double check to see what it actually says. 1 second. I had this here a second ago. I've just got rid of it. Food is provided on certain days. I can't see it on this list. Ash or Amy, can you remember what the list is? Sorry. With regards to when foods are provided. I know it's during the program time, but it'll be very clear with regards to when you have food.
I think it's breakfasts and dinners. Right?
Dinners meaning evening meal. It depends where in England you're from, what you call dinner.
Sorry.
For dinner, me, it's lunchtime. But for most people, it's the evening.
Yeah.
But that'll be all part of your induction when you arrive. They'll tell you with regards to what it is and how it is, where you can get other food from if you need additional food. But they do look after you, and that's what we make sure of.
Sorry, I'm interrupting you, Brian, but they will they'll take you to some amazing restaurants as well. So there's like a duck restaurant, a rib restaurant that they'll take you to, and all the volunteers come, and it's like a big celebration of you being there as well. So it's really nice to go to those with them. Your usual standard evening meals, if you don't choose to go out anywhere, there is a restaurant down the road that does like takeout, and you can order it from the Swim Do house, and they will bring it to the Swim Do house for you. And there's a range of food on there, and again, they cover the cost for you. Well, it's included in your fundraising. So, yeah, but it's Monday to Friday. It's your breakfast and your evening meal.
Thank you very much. Let's just have a look. If there's anything else on here. So cultural wise, if people have never been out to Indonesia before, or even to Asia before, so the people on the call, I suppose, put your hand up if you've been to Indonesia before. Yeah, so a few of you have. So for those who haven't been, it is a big cultural shock with regards to going out there. It is very, very different. You will be supported. You'll have a driver with you. You'll have the Swim Do team. You'll have volunteers there as well. So you won't be alone with regards to doing things. In the event that something does go wrong, of course, speak to the local people first. Speak to Indira in particular. She's very helpful into doing things. If that fails and you're still having problems, they can get in touch with us directly. You have our WhatsApp number, so you can contact us directly. And somebody's manning that at some point during the time, and we'll get straight back to you and find out with regards to what the issue is and try and help you, whatever's happening. Let's say, for example, you need medical attention or anything like that. The local people will be able to provide you with that attention in regards to where to go, where a doctor is, and the such like. So that they'll be able to help. So Ash, do you want to explain with regards to on the fundraising side, what happens? So they've got to raise £1,500, but of course that's the minimum donation. And in the pack, it clearly shows with regards to what percentage goes to Swim Do, what percentage goes to SwimTayka, and the donation total that gets then split between the two charities. What happens when they go above £1,500? Could you explain to people in regards to where the money goes, just to make sure it's clear so everyone understands that?
Yep. So in the volunteer information pack that you will have all received via email, as Brian said, there is a breakdown of the cost, sort of where the money goes. And anything raised above that 1,500 benchmark gets, I believe it's split evenly between both SwimTayka and Swim Do, so that we can both continue running our programs, because obviously Swim Do is their own thing, and then we collaborate with a few other people as well. So it is all, any bonus funds raised continue to go directly to supporting both of our programs.
Thank you. Next thing is resources available when you're in Bali. So I've gone through just explaining to you that you have both the Swim Do staff, other volunteers that are there, volunteer house you're in, and any information you need on that side. Of course, your travel arrangements are your own arrangements. So anything that happens with those, we won't be able to help you with. It's your responsibility to make sure you know with regards to what to do if something goes wrong on your travel side, getting to and going from the location. Hence reasons why we say if you go to a travel agent, we've got another travel agent which you like to use, and they can help you. If you have any problems, you can get in contact with them all the time, and they can assist you with regards to doing it. If you go directly to the airline, you've got to deal with the airline. By having an agent means you can do it through them, and quite often the prices are more or less the same in regards to being able to do that. So just bear that in mind, but when you're doing that. So. Ash, is there anything else you want to add? Because we're getting to the end of the list of everything that was on that we were going to talk about for this particular webinar. Is there anything you want to add to this?
No, I mean, I think we've covered stuff pretty well. Any questions that you might have or extra assistance you need during the process, just let us know. I mean, it is, quite literally my job to help you all have the best experience that you can have. So that's what I want to be able to do if any of you have any roadblocks or anything that comes up during the process.
Okay, thank you very much, Ash. Is there anybody here that has any questions that would like to ask at the minute while we're all here together?
I have a quick question. Sorry, go ahead.
We're just looking at booking flights at present. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
We're just looking at booking flights at the moment, and there's 4 of us. But we were just looking. Is there a certain time, like on the Saturday, that we have to be there for, or arrive? Like, can we get there early Saturday morning, or do we have to arrive kind of like Saturday afternoon, or?
Do you want me to answer that one?
Yes, please, yeah, you could, yeah.
Yeah, thought so. Yeah, no, you're all right, Vicky. They will work around you, so they know when the flights are due to arrive in. So as long as you know that, let them know in advance. Agis is also a DJ, so he generally just doesn't sleep. So he will just come and pick you up at any time. He's fantastic like that. What he will do is he might plan his trip if he knows that some other volunteers are arriving at a similar time to you. He might say to you, well, can you wait at the airport for an hour or 2 hours? But we didn't have to wait very long. I had to wait for the other volunteers, and we didn't have to wait very long at all. But he will plan it around everybody.
If we arrive on the Friday, do we have to find our own accommodation for that Friday night? Because then the Saturday when the accommodation would start from.
It just depends if the rooms are available. So if you let us know what you're planning, then the swim do team will do their very best to accommodate you. If there is room to put you up, they will put you up. If there's not room, then you might have to find somewhere nearby. But again, they'll probably arrange to pick you up from the airport and just drop you at your accommodation. Again, they'll work with you and accommodate. There is a lot of cheap accommodation available if you needed to do that.
That's what I was just about to ask, this cheap accommodation around the area, that if we decide to come before or stay after, we can try and ask you for some advice on that.
Yeah, a huge range of accommodation. So you could stay somewhere that is, like crazy cheap accommodation, or you could splash out and spend a night somewhere that's like luxurious. There's everything around in the area. In Ubud Centre, obviously it's a tourist area, so in the centre it might be slightly more. It might be cheaper to just stay a little bit out of the way, but if you just look on booking.com, you'll see the range of accommodation there. It's there's plenty around.
Thank you.
Can I just add one thing to that, Brian? Sorry. So obviously you get your weekends off. So your Monday to Friday you are volunteering, you are helping out, but at the weekends, that is your weekend to do what you want with. And again, if you wanted to go and see another part of the island, they will drop you off on the Friday and pick you back up again on the Monday if it works with the team. So that's something to consider if you would like to stay somewhere else over the weekend that you have off. It's worth looking at. There's also loads to do in Ubud as well, so which is really close to Karamas, where you stay in.
Thank you. So one thing about Bali in particular and in Indonesia is It is the fourth most populated, or I think it's the fifth most populated country in the world, and there are lots of islands. Because of that, there are a lot of, just be aware that there are a lot of people there. So don't go there thinking it's like a tropical island where there's nobody there. There are a lot of people there. The other thing is all the locals go around on scooters and mopeds everywhere. So you get lots of them all over the place. So just be very careful with regards to where you walk and what you do, mainly because you don't want to be hit by a moped or anything else like that. If you're thinking about hiring a moped when you're there, because everybody else does it, just make sure that your travel insurance covers you, because more often than not, it doesn't. And if you come off, you'll have to bear the cost of the hospital bill and anything associated to it. So just bear that in mind. It is highly dangerous going on the mopeds. And if you do need to get transport, then ask the staff, and they've got cars, and they'll be able to help you and to drive you around and facilitate you. Or if they can't do it, they'll be able to recommend how to get about. So just bear that in mind. Lisa, you had a question.
Oh, yeah, I did. Thank you. I was just wondering, is there any sort of swim equipment that would be useful for us to bring over at all?
What we're looking at doing there is Amy's coordinating with Indira in particular to find out what they actually need and what we need desperately. We do have a very close relationship with Zogs, and once we know what that requirement is for it, we then just go to Zogs and say, this is what they need out there. Can you help us? And quite often they'll give us a big package. Then it's a case of how do we get this big package out there? So they will be coming to all of you lot to say, can you take an extra 5 kilos for us and put it inside your bag for us? Or can you do this for us? And so yes, so hopefully we'll get things that are needed. The important thing is that they need them. What we don't want to do is send them out things which they don't need or they can't use. But we'll definitely provide a list. If we can't get them, then we'll ask you for some help. Amy?
Yeah, just to add on to that, they do really appreciate swim costumes and shorts. So a lot of the children don't have swimwear at all. So anything like goggles, hats and swimsuits are, they really do appreciate those. So I have a swim school, so we've just been kind of collecting our lost property, and we'll take all that, anything that's in good condition, we'll take that over with us. So that's something that's obviously easy to put in your suitcase. Just to quickly let you know what it is that I'm doing out there when I go. So I've been speaking to the founders of the charity out there, and for years they've been trying to get the staff actually qualified in swim teaching. So we're going to deliver the international swim teaching qualification. So I'll be delivering it to the team in Keramas, where you'll all be volunteering for. I'll be doing that for the first week I'm there, and then I'm heading up to the north of Bali, and I'll be doing the same, and we'll be getting their teachers qualified. What I am unsure of at the moment is what equipment that we will need while we're doing that course. So I will be in touch with you if that's okay about what equipment might help them to complete the course easier if we can't get it transported over in one big batch. If everybody could take something separately, then that might help. Thank you.
Brilliant, thank you very much. Anybody else have any questions? Are you excited about going? Are you looking forward to it? Good. That's the main thing. What we found, we always follow up once all our volunteers have been out to the programs. We follow up maybe a week or a month afterwards to see what their experience was and get any feedback from it. We always have good feedback from people. What I would say, being a volunteer, the more you put in, the more you get out. That's the way I always look at volunteering. Is if you're there and you help, you'll actually get an awful lot out of it, a lot more than you actually expect. So even though you're helping the children, helping do what they need to be able to do, there's so much love and there's so much feedback you'll get from the children that you'll fall in love with it. You really, really will. So I know it's setting the expectation really high, but I guarantee you will enjoy it as long as you put the effort in. That's the main thing. So So if there are other questions, Ash, do you want to talk about the next webinar we have and when that is, just so people are aware of it?
Yep. So the next webinar is on June 20th at the same time, 4 through 5 p.m. And that one will go through sort of the last steps and final preparations before your departure. I know that won't be the time that all of you are necessarily going out, but it's close to the program's initial start. So we'll just make sure everybody can get the same information in one go.
Brilliant. If anybody wanted to ask any other questions right in front of everybody, then I'll both myself and Ash will just stay on the call. Do you want to stay behind, Russell, or do you want to ask it in front of everybody?
Oh, no, I'll ask here. Is there any corporate wear, polo shirts, branding?
Any what, sorry?
Any polo shirts?
It's funny you should say that. It's very
Branding?
it's good. As of yesterday, we've just got our SwimTayka shop working. And we'll be sending out to you with regards to links to it. You'll get a t-shirt that looks like this. So that will come to all volunteers anyway. But there are lots of other things that are out there. There's everything from like polo caps to wear, beanie hats to bags to polo shirts to
Towels,
thank you.
water
That's the other one.
bottles.
Water bottles. So the whole host of things that are on the website that you can order, and you can do that. So we'll provide that in the follow up to you, so you can get access to that.
And rashies?
Can I ask one more question? Oh, sorry. Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, just 1 second, Vicky.
With our fundraising, we're doing. Oh, sorry.
Go on, Vicky.
Am I there?
Yeah.
Sorry. With our fundraising, we're doing a couple of event days. And I spoke to a lady who was going to, or kindly donated some like t-shirts for us to wear. But we was wondering if we could actually put your logo on them, just to show that we were fundraising for yourselves.
We can. We have strict guidelines to where things go and what things are. Well, I'll put you in touch with the lady that deals with all the merchandising, so you can speak to them directly and get that organised.
Okay, fab. Thank you.
So Russell, well, you were saying something else.
Yeah, is there? We bring our over here we use rash vests in the pool.
Yeah.
Is we bring our own, or the ones provided? So
the t-shirt you'll be providing, it isn't quite a rash vest. Ideally, you'd want to have something which goes down your arms as well to cover you, especially from the sun. It's always best to take what you feel is right to be able to do things. Of course, we would like to try and get pictures with SwimTayka logo and bits and pieces, and you teaching with the SwimTayka hat on and bits and pieces like that. That will be. That helps encourage other people to come so they can see with regards to what we're doing and the impact we're having. But yes, take your own rash vest with you for sure to be able to wear too. Any other questions, Lindsay or Andy? No. Okay. Should we close it then? So hopefully we'll see you all again on the 20th of June with those final preparations, and hopefully by that you've all then booked. And again, if you have any questions or anything else, then please do reach out to us all.
Thank you,
everybody.